Welcome to Happy Old Reds, where it finished. Remind me again? Oh yeah, Forest beat the 4-peat, the 1-1-5 by a goal to 0. Let's get into it. Evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to. I'm so used to it. No, it's Happy Old Reds. Happy Old Reds tonight. Where I'm in a good mood. I ain't feeling Keira Knightley anymore, man. I'm feeling more Jennifer Love Hewitt, man. I can't lie. It's amazing what a win does. But we gotta start. Shout out to Stuart Pearce. Hopefully he's getting better soon. We've done that evening with Stuart Pearce before, so we know him and his wife. So we've reached out to his wife Carol and just passed on our best from FFTV and you guys in the chat as well, and Talking Reds as well, who asked as well. So hopefully he recovers. I still didn't even really understand what was happening. First I knew about it, you lot were clapping at the stadium on the third minute.
First I knew about it, but it was a really great reception. A minute's applause for Psycho, and obviously his name was, especially in the Trent end, was just reverberating Psycho.
I don't know if you noticed, Des, but at the front they had the Stuart Pearce banner that never mind the bollocks, here's Psycho.
Yes, I did see that. I could just see that from where we were. But yeah, really good reception, and a really good tifo at the start of the game as well, which we were all.
I've not seen it yet.
I've not
actually seen it yet.
Yeah, Vamos, wasn't it? Vamos.
Yeah, Vamos.
I didn't know that from FIFA. Vamos, goal. What was the link to it? What was the link to it as?
I think it was just
Vamos all the time, didn't he?
On along the bottom we had, I think it was like "This is our time" or something like that. And let's go.
That should be the next
one. Rallying call, basically, wouldn't it?
That needs to be the next one. Stay humble. All right, so we got a lot to talk about. Make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Get your thoughts and how are you feeling? Are you feeling Keira Knightley or Jennifer Love Hewitt? They probably don't even know who Jennifer Love Hewitt is.
Yeah, you'll have to explain it to half the crowd, bro.
No,
I'm just saying.
Can't we say Dolly Parton? She's quite well known for.
Oh, come on, man. That's like 1900s.
Yeah, I know, but there's a great song called
Mansfield or something.
I love Dolly Parton's. Yeah, anyway.
Denise Richards, or can we agree on that?
No.
Dean, thank you for the 13 months, my man. And Dean has also gifted a membership. I didn't see who got it. Make sure you thank a legend. That is Dino. Joker as well with 26 months. It's crazy. And Dylan as well with 26 months. 26 popular one tonight. He says, very, very happy old Reds. Absolutely. Yeah, it does look good. It's just
that looks good.
I got a Castro.
I think Dylan got the membership. I think.
No. Dylan's already a member.
Okay.
Long time. Yeah, long time member. The Calvin Crow as well with 30 months. Oh, that's crazy, man. How long have we been going, boys? How long have we been going? All right, there's a lot to cover off tonight, right? I want to start with Crypto and his take on the game. That smile straight away. Ben, what are you saying? I see you got 4-3-2-1 won us the game.
Just to let you know, Vamos is it means let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's a FIFA term.
We know. Yeah, we play FIFA.
Yeah. Just before you start, I gotta shout out the legend that is Logan with the 4.99. He says, "Hi, can you say happy birthday to my granddad, please? From Logan and Kira." Yo, granddad Clark, legend. We've met him, haven't we? You've met him, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah, what a legend. Many happy returns.
It's not the other granddad. He's got two granddads probably, but if it's Chris,
is it the granddad that we've met, Logan and Nick?
Yeah.
Many happy returns.
Anyway,
I need to know what Logan and Kira got you for your birthday. Hopefully it's something Forest related. If it's not, I'm very disappointed in them. But many happy returns. Enjoy being 32 again. And much love to Logan, to Nick, to the grandparents. Absolutely cracking family they got there. All right. And by the way, Logan really wants an ant rant. We'll see what happens.
I don't think today. I don't think
I don't know
tonight
if
should be
Logan wants
like it.
Uh,
Is it? It's not-
All right, Ben, go and kick us off, Ben.
Mind you, Ben's not spoken yet, so Michael.
I'm now you've said that, and I'm sitting here thinking of ways to trigger you. So, first of all, apologies if my voice sounds a bit weird. I have a bronchitis or something, so fun times. But yeah, look, I think it's worth putting it in context first that Rob has been messaging us prior to this stream because Rob has effectively gone woke. Now, Rob has asked us specifically not to call out his incorrectness, that he said his 4-2-3-1 formation won us the game, which in simple terms, it didn't.
Read the room. Read the room.
Let me land. The goal came.
Crash land. Come on.
The goal came and the match was won based on a 4-3-2-1 Christmas tree formation, which is exactly what me and Wolfie said at the end of last stream. Alongside that, we also said, and we've been saying this for a while, Domínguez, who had a very good game yesterday. Hey, Rob, are you writing this down like Keir Starmer does in PMQs? Like, wait, ready to respond?
You know me too well.
He's making notes. I'm getting a drink for this one.
Crash land.
He's doing something with his hands, but
Domínguez, who we've been saying for a while, I thought he had a very good game. And the reason being is because he was put in more of an attacking sense instead of having to rely on tracking back and going into that CDM role. So, look, at the end of the day, yes, we started 4-2-3-1, but we didn't really play that formation on the pitch. That was just a TNT special. But aside from who was right and who was wrong on the formation, I thought it was a great game. And to come away and beat City like that is fantastic. And it just proves to you that Callum Hudson-Odoi, you know, I put a little comment into Sava's channel earlier when he was face palming about Brennan Johnson and just literally said Callum Hudson-Odoi costs $3 million, and what a buy he was for that. We've got some seriously good and upcoming players. I mean, he's only 24. Like, these guys aren't even in their prime yet. So we did very well yesterday, and I personally think after seeing Arsenal today, I think we can go for second in the table. That's my aim now. I want to see us win the FA Cup, and I want to see us finish second in the table.
Okay.
And then I'll pass it over to the honorary gentleman of the Liberal Democrats.
Wait, are we going to do this like Mr. Speaker and like you talk indirectly to each other and what have you?
next 5 minutes.
Taxiing to the gate now. Taxiing into the gate. Thank you.
Just before you do, like I've had so many messages about when am I on Never a Foul, straight after this. Okay. So they're starting at 9. I'll be joining late. And yes, Daps is going to get cooked. So yeah, we'll redirect you over to there. So I've had loads of messages about it. Loads of messages. And just for Rob rebuttals, Ginger with the £5. Thank you so much. He said, who wanted to buy Marmouche? Right here, and I'd still take him, man. Like, why would you not? Why would you not? Thank you so much for the £5. We're 15 subscribers away from 24,000.
Yeah,
so
guys,
you're not subscribed. There's a massive favor. Let's see if we can get over that milestone on this stream. Right, I built it up. All right, rebuttal time. The rebuttal of Rob.
Look, I agreed with what you said just there more than I expected to. So I'm not going to launch into one. Just to say that I think it was important to start with what looked like an attacking lineup, because I think without a goal threat, we would have been under constant siege. So I was lucky enough to get a ticket for the game. And it looked to me in the first half like we were generally holding the middle of the pitch. We were holding them around the halfway line. There was a couple of times we dropped deeper. And I think the reason for that is even though it seemed like Ilanga didn't do anything, I think they were worried about leaving space for him to get in behind. And just having him on makes them think in a very different way to if we'd had what someone has nicely called Ant's wall. Not criticizing Ant. I think we were all in a mess trying to think, how the hell do we get through this game? Somehow Nuno solved the puzzle, and I think he deserves credit for it. What surprised me, I didn't have Domínguez in my lineup. He was outstanding yesterday. He really, really was. And if he had been on until the final whistle, he would have undoubtedly been man of the match, despite Callum Hudson-Odoi's heroics, right? And he provided all the cover for Aina. And I think what we've seen now, we've got our Aina back, right? Because he had Doku completely in his pocket to the point where Doku actually got switched to the other side in the second half. They just gave up trying to beat Aina in 1v1s. So I think I would go as far as saying that Aina can mark any one winger in the Premier League completely out of the game. And it's only when he starts to get 2 or 3 people on him that we need to spot the danger and actually give him the cover. And I think that was probably behind what we might have unkindly called a bit of a dip in his form. But for me, I was delighted to see the defence is back. The defence was absolutely fantastic. Apart from the Chris Wood assist, I don't think Man City had a chance in the first half. They were reduced to sort of long shots. And the others need to have their go now. But all I want to say is the absolute highlight for me was on 68 minutes, Man City brought on Omar Marmoush and Kevin De Bruyne. And we retaliated by bringing on Ryan Yates. And who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? Because I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking, because what I felt about those two is they're lightweight. And Yatesy made a very strong contribution when he came on. He got in a couple of real scraps and came out of it with the ball. So he cost us nothing. But just because he didn't cost us what a De Bruyne or a Marmoush costs, we shouldn't undervalue him. And that's all I wanted to say.
He also could have been sent off in 5 minutes. Yeah, literally.
And I think he missed a trick about man of the match, because if our £35 million signing Sangare hadn't fallen flat on his face, that play would have never got turned over.
I was thinking that, you know.
Gerrard, didn't he?
He did a reverse Gerrard.
Sangare for me was man of the match.
Logan with another 199 says it's Grandad Chris who you met. So that's not. Wait, so which granddad's birthday is it? Is it Chris's birthday?
Yeah. So is he saying that it's his birthday? Which is, I think that's what he's saying.
Happy birthday, Granddad Chris.
Yeah.
Hopefully it is your birthday, Granddad Chris. Thank you so much, Logan, for the 199. Stop spending your pocket money, right? Just message in chat. We'll pick it up. And Nikki, naughty Nikki, will start with the 19 months. Legend that is Nikki. All right, let's bring the old guns in, man. The OG Goras here. You two, Ezen, and who wants to pick it up first?
Well, let me just talk about Nuno's tactics yesterday, which he got absolutely spot on. And this is what I wanted to see. So after last time I was on was just after the Newcastle game, which I think I debated with you that how significant that comeback in the second half in that game was. And I feel it was because we have had that momentum since then, and we've not conceded a goal in the last 2 games either. And what I wanted to see in the Arsenal and the Man City game was him learning from his mistakes, because I don't think he did in the Fulham and Newcastle game from the defeats we'd had in the previous half of the season. But the last 2 games were real progresses. And the way we set up yesterday, I look at the way, I hate to say it, but the way Bournemouth played against us and the way they absolutely ripped us open. The problem that day was that their centre-back, the left centre-back, getting far too much space, being allowed to progress up the field almost into our penalty area. And what Elanga did yesterday, and Rob kind of alluded to, Elanga's positioning in that first half stopped basically Guardiola making those types of runs. I thought he was really quiet yesterday. That was one of the least effective games I've seen him going forward. And I think it was to do with Elanga's positioning and the way Nuno set up. So Nuno's tactics yesterday were absolutely spot on. But guys are right as well. We opened up once Callum Hudson-Odoi was given that more freedom going forward. And that was the absolute right thing to do. The way he twisted up Guardiola when he took that shot, he basically put him on the wrong foot. And I still think the shot should have been saved, but the speed at which he's taken it, he's not giving him, there's no backlift at all in this shot. He's basically taken the move and hit in one movement, which is really hard to do and get that power behind. So 100% credit to him because we were right behind the shot. Me and I think from where Ant was sitting as well, we were right behind the shot going in. So we got a great angle of it and the atmosphere.
Did it deflect? Because I don't think it did.
I don't think it did. No, I don't
deflect.
go with what we were saying on Match of the Day last night. I don't.
It did not deflect.
No deflection. Yeah.
No deflection.
There was no deflection. It was just the speed of his shot taken. So he's made the move in. He's gone onto his strong foot and he's hit it in one smooth movement. Keeper could not have saved that, but he twisted up Guardiola. And the fact of the matter is, the spot on from tactics wise yesterday. I think that is. I was trying to think the other game where we've been defensively as solid as that, and I've got to say the other game that really stood out to me was away to Brentford against the team which we'd scored early goals for fun. You know, we absolutely locked them out and got the goals at the right key moments in that game as well. So yesterday was one of the most impressive defensive performances we've had all season, and they were blunt even when they did bring on De Bruyne and Marmoush to try and get that added attack. They just couldn't get it through to. The fact of the matter is they could not get it through to Haaland because of the way we cut out those passing lanes. And I thought yesterday, to a man, they were all spot on, but the back line especially were all man of the match performances from every single one of them yesterday. Go on, Ant.
Just what you do, Ant. They're lovely. Jess is in the chat with the £2. Right, what the hell does that mean? Heart, football, plane, maps. All right, she's packing her suitcase.
Oh, for Europe.
Play in Europe, unless she's got another ticket for a match coming over from Ireland, maybe. It could be either or, but it's very creative, Jess. Thank you so much for the £2. Quick reminder:
who plays in red and white? Southampton.
We do.
Not really.
Red top, white shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
Just look behind. We've got 136 likes. 500 of you in here. Get those likes up. Ant, what you guys say? What's your opening gambit, Ant?
Okay, so a few things. You lot do talk a lot of rubbish, honestly. We played a 4-4 Rome. That's what we played. 4-4 Rome. So you lot talk about 4-3-2-1s, 4-2-3-1. You're absolutely delusional. Just look at the game. So actually watch the game. 2 banks of 4 and then 2 that could go for exactly as I predicted. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. We were absolutely superb. The defense was magnificent. It was a game not to forget. I've got to mention the goal. There's a cliche in football, and it's ridiculous. And the cliche is a goalkeeper should never be beaten at his near post. It's absolute fallacy. You know, if a player puts the ball hard into that area, a goalkeeper's not going to save it. All right. Now, the thing is, when Hudson-Odoi came in, everybody and his dog, and I mean everybody, was expecting Callum Hudson-Odoi to cut back in again.
Yeah.
So the goalkeeper, naturally being a human being, edges towards that way. Once you've made that movement, the ball was then hammered perfectly into that gap. There was no goalkeeper on earth that would have saved that shot. None. So I don't want Callum Hudson-Odoi's goal to be belittled by people saying, "Oh, I think the goalkeeper should have saved it." No, he shouldn't. He couldn't save it. It was a fantastic shot. It even swerved in the air.
Yep.
You know, even at that short range, it was hit that hard. There's no goalkeeper who's going to save that. So can we please just not do that about goalkeeper should have saved it? And no, he shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not saying that, Ant. Yeah, you're basically rebuttaling bloody that bell end as who said it? Matt here. I mean, Joe Hart was goalkeeper union. Like it's good deflected. It made him do this.
No, I didn't see that.
The big 4 or the big 6 defense league, isn't it? Just ignore them. They can't ever give us credit.
I just wanted to bring that up because I've seen one or two.
I think it's a valid point.
But Hudson-Odoi strike. He's got a signature.
Edison, you know, Edison was not at fault for that. He just pulled off a world-class save a few minutes earlier, and he's not a bad goalkeeper. He didn't make a mistake. It was just a good goal. Anyway, let's move on. Let's not get bogged down in silly things because it's a happy day today. I thought we were fantastic. And what a statement win that is. That is as big a statement win as you can get, really. Because I don't think many people, including myself, were expecting us to win that game. So to win it felt so good. and we actually won it comfortably. It was that. In fact, I think Nathan said to me, my brother said to me at one point, just imagine, forget that's Man City, and imagine it's a third division team, and it wouldn't be any different. And that's the thing, that because of the it's Man City and Arsenal, you tend to think, oh my God,
Aura.
But in actual fact, we contain them quite easily. I
Mm.
mean, how many shots on target did they have? And they had that good shot that hit the bar, I think. But it was a relatively easy game, I thought.
Yeah.
Don't
They
get me
had
wrong.
14 shots and where the fuck is
How many on
shots on
target?
target?
Apart from
Three
the
on target.
Bruyne-
Three on
apart from the
target.
Bruyne free kick.
target,
Was there
Yeah,
another
no,
one
it's
that-
a De Bruyne free kick.
I don't remember the others.
There was
It was
a shot. Oh, Doku had a shot in the first half where he cut it. It was so weak though. It was so
And
weak.
the
Yeah,
other
this
one,
is the thing about shots on target, even if it's a P.
Yeah,
P
as long as
roll,
on
they did it,
target,
don't they? Yeah. I can't remember
The one
Sells
you-
being in trouble, basically. I
Just
thought it
that
was a
last
perfect
one
game
from
for us.
Kovacic. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
one
just thought
where
that was a hard
Morgan
luck,
Gibbs-White
man.
tried to
I
get
thought it
the
was-
assist.
I just thought we played a really good game. We played our game against Man City, and they just couldn't do it. They just couldn't get through, and that's why I've got belief, especially after yesterday, that this team of ours can go on and get Champions League qualification. Because at the moment, I mean, I'm looking like we've got Tottenham away. I can't see Tottenham's going against that defense. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, and Chelsea, I mean, was it 1-0 to Chelsea today?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
Against-
so they can
and that's
only
a
beat
free
Chelsea. Yeah, and they could only do 1-0 against Leicester quite late on, I believe, with Cucurella. So no team around us is tearing up trees.
No.
Bournemouth
They're
lost
fun.
today. Sorry, drew today after being 2-0 up against.
That's basically a loss. I see why you said that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was watching that Tottenham game for a bit, and I was just thinking to myself, my God, we're gonna hammer these. We're gonna, So we've got a
And
really
you've gotta
good
be
chance now of
optimistic.
solidifying that.
And
Sorry?
after yesterday's performance, you got to be optimistic looking at those last 10 games.
Yeah, big stuff.
And if you compare the runnings of the teams around us, Chelsea, if you look at Chelsea's running, they've got absolutely the worst running of a lot of them.
And got those on the last day.
Yeah, and I don't think it will come to that for them. I think they'll be way out
No.
of it by that time. I think it's going to be the probably Man City taking up that last place, but we're definitely. I'm with crypto. Second or third is what I'm aiming for, mate. And that's what
Am
we
I
should be
right
aiming
in
for.
saying? Thank you. Am I right in saying that our last 4 games has been a draw against Liverpool, a 7-0 hammering of Brighton, a draw against Arsenal, and a win against Man City?
At home. You mean at home?
Yeah, at home, yeah.
You mean at home?
Yeah.
That ain't bad, is it? I think there's a lot of
We've
teams
only
that
lost
are
twice
happy
at
with
home. We haven't lost since Newcastle.
Fulham and
I think.
Newcastle.
Newcastle and Fulham are the only two.
No, it's
4 months
November.
now. That's 4 months.
Yeah,
And
but
how
it's
many,
not.
and how many of our last 10 games are at home?
5.
I don't know.
No,
Half of them.
No,
half of them.
Is it
6,
5?
I think. I think it's
I
6.
thought-
I think
I
it's
thought
more.
we had
Six
more
was,
at home, but-
yesterday was
Oh,
us,
yeah.
Okay. So that's fine. I mean, let's be honest. We're not bad away, are we?
No.
You know what I mean? So
But does it have
We've got
that
a
feeling? Do
got a
you remember when in the first season, Fortress City Ground, when we came up because we were shit away?
Yeah.
But does it
Season
have
also,
that?
yeah.
Does it have that same feeling? I still felt more fortressy then than it
I'll tell you
does.
what,
That's what the
yesterday,
difference is.
Yesterday, the
Oh,
atmosphere was off the scale yesterday because
Thank
I've
you.
been to all of the recent home games, including Brighton and the
So Rob,
Ipswich.
can I just not call you out, but can I just compare? So you were at the Arsenal game. You said the atmosphere of the Arsenal game was really good. I didn't agree with you.
I
but
felt compared to
I thought it
yesterday,
was okay
Arsenal
against
game was
Arsenal,
flat.
but-
yesterday
yeah.
was fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Can I say
yesterday
one more
was
quick
really
point?
good.
On the way to the ground, I went to the ground with Nathan and Stu, and both of them were saying, "Oh, the only problem is Domínguez." And I did my spiel about Domínguez, about if he's put in the right place, he's a really good player. So I made a decision. I thought every time he does something good, I'm going to nudge him and say, Domínguez. And they both said, absolutely fantastic.
What happened? What happened to Danilo, Ant? I thought Danilo was
He
your
didn't
guy.
play, mate. He didn't play.
I know.
It wasn't sunny enough. I do worry about Laurie's maths. 4 + 5, Laurie, gives you 9. Just we have 10 games.
It does, Laurie. I don't think that's correct.
Yeah. All right. Let me just catch up on the super chats. We've got loads coming in. Please do hit the like button if you haven't already. All right, Logan. No more Logan. Thank you so much for the 199. He says it's costing my daddy a fortune.
Happy birthday, Grandpa Chris.
We got there in the end. Yo, Chris. Happy birthday. We're sorry your present has been, moved to the second tier on the choice. That's because Logan's put all Nick's money into super chats. So apologies for that. But have a very, very happy birthday. Logan, make sure you spoil your granddad. He's an absolute legend. Thank you so much. Darren, becoming a new member. Thank you so much, Darren. Welcome to the family. And Lemmy, man, where have you been, bro? We need to get you on. It's been a while with the 26 months, absolute legend, and founding father of the channel as well, we can say. And then we got Ant the Hat with the 199 super sticker.
Stranger, where have you been?
I still chat to him on WhatsApp. We haven't seen him in the live chat for a while. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, he's messaging on WhatsApp. Oh, and by the way, and then Owen, sorry. Owen, you're part of the furniture. It's part of furniture, isn't he? Owen, have you broken that mug that you won yet?
28 months.
I want a picture to prove it still exists. Because that's the most expensive mug I've ever sent in my life. Thanks so much for the 28 months. Move to England, mate. Move to England. Just a quick thing. So we've got a WhatsApp group. What are those things called, boys? There's the WhatsApp group updates.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I never look at them.
I was just about to put a picture.
Really selling it.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna put.
I'll be honest with you.
Can you shut up a minute, right? You're not helping.
I didn't have a clue what it was. I'm just saying.
You know when you go on WhatsApp and there's this updates. There's this updates thing, right? We've got a Forest Fan TV one where it's now very active, and we'll be putting quick Forest updates in there. So if you want to, Ant's just discovered it. That's good to see. So I'll put the link in the chat for you guys. Make sure you're following on there. Why are you putting a picture of me, man? On the screen.
But I don't need this, do I? Why have you got a white background?
You don't need it,
Black's the way to go, mate. What?
Exactly. So I'll pin the link in the chat in just a second. If you could just give it a quick follow or whatever it is on there, that would be fantastic. And yeah, run them likes up. We've still got loads to talk about, and I'll be over on Never a Foul straight after this. I can't wait. All right, so let's start breaking it down. I want to start with Nico Williams, boys, because no one's mentioned him. And I go back to that Blackpool game in the first season we got up, and probably one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a player. And I thought he was done. He was utter crap in that game. But this guy under Nuno, since moving to left back, I think he's a bit of an unsung hero. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. When Doku switched over, they had to switch him back because he got nothing out of Nico. What's been the rise of Nico Williams for you guys?
To be fair, he's not unsung hero with Forest fans. I mean, he got voted player of the month 3 months running, and the crowd always sing his name. So
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? When you see the social media, it's always Einar, it's always Hudson-Odoi. You know what I'm saying?
That's my point. The outsiders never, ever mention him, ever. And yet he's had some fantastic games where he's locked up the likes of Salah and what have you, and people just don't mention him. And you're right, he does deserve a mention, because I'm so pleased for him, because I liked him when he joined us, and then he went through a Cooper patch, didn't he, for about 2 years? And then Nuno came in, and all of a sudden we saw the player that I thought he could be, and it's fantastic to see it. I'm really pleased for him.
I think that one of the interesting things is as well that it proves that you win your own position, because Moreno was in there, and then Moreno started to have a dip in form, and he basically hasn't started since in the league, especially. So, look, Williams put that interview out ages ago, probably like 3/4 of a year ago, saying that he basically walks into Nuno's dressing room and asks him, "What do I need to do to improve?" And you don't hear many players saying that. So the fact that he is doing those improvements basically shows that it should be a first name on the team sheet, and he has improved massively. Not just attacking, but also his defense, which I think is one of the things he needed to work on. It. And some of his tackles now, the blocks he puts in, he goes for every single ball, whether it's going to go out for throwing or anything, he's throwing himself around. So I think he's one of the most consistent players now, which is what you need if you want to be challenging at the top of the league effectively.
And he's gone from a player that we thought we'd spent 17 million, wasted basically 17 million. And now that 17 million looks a bargain.
Mm. Yeah, he's
on the market. If you put him on the market tomorrow, he'd go for a lot more than that.
Yeah, but is he being recognized? Do you know what I'm saying?
It's like by other managers. It's just
but I'm talking fans. It's always interesting what fans say when we do our position previews and stuff. So it's Morgan Gibbs-White, Murillo, Einar is now definitely in that circulation. Yeah. No one's ever really mentioned Nico Williams. I think watching his game yesterday, it was just bang on, man.
Even Sells gets mentioned now.
Fullback, how many times do you look at an opposition team's fullback, really, in that
sense? They are mentioning Einar. A lot of them mentioning Einar on the other side.
They mention Einar because Einar puts himself out there on social media and things like that. So he has got a big presence.
Massive personality. I don't think we want people to be knowing who he is, because then someone will come after him. I think it's better.
Him anyway. Anybody who knows football will notice.
The managers and coaches, I'm sure, appreciate him.
But you've got to admit that fans' input does have some type of persuasion on football clubs.
But most important input,
people want them.
Correct, so let me jump in. The most important input is from him, and he shut up all his doubters. There was considerations about whether is he a fullback or is he a wing back? Can he play in this position? Can he go? Is he decent going forward but not good enough defensively? I think he shut everybody up this season, and his consistency is the most important thing. And I've been calling him out for a while. I've been saying he's one of the first names on the team sheet, and it's going to be interesting with this run coming up with the cup, whether he gets rested, because we'll have 3 games in a very short amount of time. I think we'll have a double game week coming up, and whether Nuno's going to play him in all 3 games, because obviously one of those 3 games is going to be against Villa, which obviously Moreno can't play in. So one of them is a cup game. Then we've got Brentford, followed by Aston Villa in a short amount of time. So those 3 games is when maybe he'll get rested, and you'll see Moreno come in for one of those. But other than that, he's one of the first names on the team sheet, and I think he's done amazingly well to get himself there. And touching on what Crypto says, he's listened to what Nuno's had to say. He's taken it on board, and he's improved massively. And I wouldn't be surprised if he is a player of the season this season. Can
I just add one thing as well? We should take into account his age. I mean, we signed him when he was 21. We signed him when he was 21. He's 23 now, right? So very few players are the finished article at 21, right? He'd had a handful of games at Liverpool. He'd had a short loan at Fulham in the Championship, right? And then obviously he's not exactly come into a settled team, has he? Because we had Lodi at left back, we had Harry Toffolo, we've had Moreno, and then Nico was playing second fiddle to Einar. But I mean, in all of that, he's got now 2.5 years of more experience. So you would expect a player to be better at 23 than they are at 21. And I think there's possibly a lesson for us somewhere, which is, take somebody like Anthony Elanga, who's only 22. Let's hope he's going to be better when he's 23 and when he's 24, because I think we possibly put a bit too much pressure on. We've got to remember the age of some of our players, and just give. He's got 2 years of Premier League experience under his belt, and that's why he's developed into a better player.
Yeah, but this whole age thing, Rob, like if you look at Elanga, he was playing at Man U from the age of 18, if I had to guess, 17, 18. But he was getting experience in Premier League and in Champions League, right? So he's come to Forest at 21. Or how old is he now? 21, 22, roughly?
Elanga's 22 now.
Yeah, but say Murillo, who's come in at 9. How old's Murillo? I've gone blank on all their ages. Is he 20 now?
21 when we bought him in.
So we're about the same age.
You can't compare everyone to Murillo.
What I'm saying is Murillo should be given more rope. I don't think age is a thing. For me, it's more about the experience they've had. If they've had the experience at 17 or 18 versus, say, someone who's come, say, Sosa. Sosa's 24, yeah? He's come across from South America, he's older. Surely you'd want to give him a little more rope than someone who, even though is younger, has had more years in the Premier League, Champions League, etc. I think it's the old thing for me. If you're old enough, you're good enough.
I don't think it's that black and white because you got levels within even a league, you know, compared to the type of games and the battles we were having last season to the battles we're having this season. And we're in the same league, so we haven't changed leagues. So there are levels to this, and I don't think every player you can be judged in the same way. Whether they've had the experience, he could have had 5 years experience in Brazil and then come to the Premier League and blobbed it, you know. But you're looking at players, it's got to do with the overall atmosphere, obviously within the dressing room, the way the coach is coming across. Obviously, with the Brazilian players and the Portuguese players, it massively helps having a Portuguese-speaking coach, head coach, you know, and his team around him, and obviously his English is spot on as well. So there's no lack of communication in that dressing room, and I think it's got to be down to how they all settle in within the environment, whether they've had 5 years experience or whether they're coming first time into a Premier League and first team football. A lot of these players have grown together, and that's what we've seen over the last couple of years, and that's what we need to keep that. Whatever we do going forward, inshallah we will be in Europe next year, whichever league it's in.
I want to hear that music.
But we've got to grow this core of players that we've got now and add to it. You know, I don't want to see any of these leaving this club. Sorry, go on, Anne.
So, no, say if I just expand on that a little tiny bit, it's quite interesting that before the game yesterday at the fan zone, they put a Danilo interview on, and I found it quite interesting. He says, "Who's your best friend at the club?" And he said, "All the Brazilians." So the point I'm trying to make is it shows you how important it is to have people in the team already that a foreign player can socialize with and converse with, have had similar backgrounds. You know, you imagine coming to a club as a Brazilian, a young Brazilian, 20 years old, say, and nobody speaks your language. I mean, I can't imagine how difficult that must be. And I'm not talking about on the pitch you can communicate. I'm talking about your life in general. So for a Brazilian player to come into our club now, or a Portuguese player to come into our club now, he's already got that little click, if you like.
I was about to bring that up.
Brazilian, that was hilarious. That was.
I got to say, I watched 5 minutes of it. I hate subtitles. I
do.
If
you stick with it, it's definitely interesting.
I was like tempted to learn Portuguese first before watching it.
You know what I liked about it is that you thought, they're just young lads, aren't they? They're the same as any other daft young lads, except the young lads with loads of money, of course.
Yeah, but and in a way, that is a positive, but it can also be a negative, can't it? I think back to the golden era for England when there was the factions, the Chelsea faction, the Arsenal faction, and what have you.
That's why I hesitated using the word clique, because that suggests that it's like a pride, But I didn't mean it in that way. I just meant
I know you're saying. No, I agree. I think it can be positive and negative. And just a quick one, Simon's right. There's certain names that are not allowed to be brought up on this channel anymore. Right. Number 1 name, Jesse Lingard. Right, hate him.
You just brought it.
Yeah, but Lodi and Felipe. Still,
you can get over Lodi now. Nico Williams is way better than he was.
Yeah. I've got to ask this question to Ez just before I do. Massive shout out to 1865 for the £2. Has anybody seen Erling Haaland? Come on, you Reds. I thought his dad had more impact on the pitch yesterday than he did, man. But thank you so much for the £2. Ez,
great picture, by the way. Great picture that is as well. The picture. Oh,
Pearce.
Yeah.
And that's Ian. What is that? Pearce?
No, it's
Pearce, isn't it?
Pearce, yeah.
That's a psycho salute, bro.
Yeah, I can say as soon as I saw it, I didn't even look at the face.
Yeah,
I need bastards. Ez, I'll ask you this question. Would you take Spence back?
Jed Spence. You know I still love Spence, mate. For the squad that we're going to need for Europe and everything else next season, they 100% are taking back, mate. Because they can play. We've seen him play, again, another player who's been switched to the left side, and we've seen him make man of the match performances in a very average Spurs team. So if not saying it's saying much for him to stand out, but he has stood out in almost every single game that I've watched him play. So yeah, 100% I'd take Spence.
Yeah,
Carroll
I've
agrees
changed
with
my
me.
mind on that. I've changed my mind on that. When he went,
Me and
like,
Ez were the
2
only
years-
ones who taken back, man. We
No,
had
no, no, no,
absolute
no, no,
pelters.
no,
I'm doing a poll.
Why does this show always have to turn into I said this, he said
I
that?
know,
blah,
I
blah,
know,
blah.
I know.
I've got a
You know,
suggestion
it's
for
very
you.
childish, right?
I've got Wolfie. I've got a suggestion for you.
Hang on, Rob. I've not finished yet. I had doubts because he'd virtually not played football for 2 years. I think that's quite reasonable, especially when we've got the fullbacks we've got. However, now I've seen him back. I've been very impressed with him, and I would certainly take him back as a squad player. They're all squad players, by the way.
Squad player. Okay.
No, they're all squad.
They all
they're all
are.
squad.
Yeah,
in my
like
eyes, they're all
they
squad
are.
players.
Even Nuno alluded
Yeah,
to it
yeah.
yesterday.
I'm a squad player. You know, if he's not feeling good or he's not doing well, you bring in Jed Spence. If Jed Spence does brilliantly, you keep him in. But squad game. That's what.
Ez, would you start Spence?
No, you can't.
No, not ahead of
Right.
him playing
It's
for the
hesitating,
Tottenham,
man. It's hesitating.
The FA Cup.
Oh, listen,
But
we're
get
going to
his
need a
chance,
huge
mate.
squad for
Get
next
his
season.
chance, mate. He'd get
Well,
his
yeah, we're
chance.
going to need we're going to need a much bigger squad next season. And if
Yeah.
you've got a player like him who's versatile, can play both sides as well, 100% I'd take him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's-
Rob, what were you gonna say?
Well, it's too late now because it's a poll, but you know that I'm probably in a majority of one here, but I would actually take Johnson back rather than Spence.
Oh, for God's
No,
sake.
man. Come on, man.
Really?
Right.
Right. Can you send him
I
off?
tell you what, every single Tottenham fan would gladly drive him back for you.
Well, that's why I think we should consider it.
Do you know
No,
what? I'm
it's
not
rubbish,
against
man.
what Rob's saying. Shall I tell you why? Right? I think Jono would work in a Nuno system.
No, he wouldn't because he's crap, mate.
No, you've been spending too
No,
much time
he
with
is.
Sava.
I'm sorry, he's crap.
No.
You know what, Rob's? You know, next thing Rob's going to say, I think we should have Cooper back. You know, let's go the whole fucking old shell.
Yeah. Don't open that door. Don't open that door to him.
There's only 3 I would take back, right? Spence, Jono, not to start,
No, he's
Garner.
awful.
and
Garner.
Samba.
Samba. It's Samba.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
I'd
Samba's
take
a squad player. Yeah, I go with that.
Garner's a decent squad player as well. I still think he's progressed really well. It's just has been.
No,
I don't
injury.
know, man. It's a bit boring.
I think
It's a
he's
bit boring.
decent, man. When he's given a chance.
There you go. We got Destiny, and he'll drop him off.
Exactly.
All right, we're derailing as
We're gonna have to
always.
get Rob on Sava's show with his John OT. We've
Oh,
got to
that'd
get
be
him
fun to see Rob defend
They
Jono.
are so rude to him. At
They are.
Tottenham. They treat him like absolute shit, and he was really behind most of their
Did
goals.
you see
or
him
goal
today, Rob? He
contributions.
had a stinker, man. He had
Oh,
an
God.
absolute stinker.
He's a scapegoat, isn't he? He's a
He's
scapegoat.
their scapegoat.
Let me just say something. It's very important. I shouldn't say he's a crap player because he obviously isn't a crap player. He's a Premier League player. But I just don't think he's good enough for our side anymore. I'll leave it at that.
You guys are forgetting the most important one though. Sam Surridge.
Because he's the best finisher in the
straight back into our squad.
You're going to say Joe Worrell next? Stop it! You're just trolling now.
Anyway, let's move forward. Let's not look back. Dino with another gifted. Dino, you're too generous, bro. Thank you so much. And that's gone to Carl. So Carl, make sure you show Dino some love for his generosity there. What an absolute legend you are, Dean. All right, in the poll, 68% of you would take Spence back. 32 wouldn't.
I'm surprised that 32 wouldn't. Actually.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually. Is that
Yeah. If you said no in the chat, why? Just say why. We're not saying start him.
He's good going
Yeah,
forward.
perhaps people think that you'd replace Aina with him. But perhaps that's
He's good going forward. I'm not convinced he's got the ability, the marking ability of either of the two that we put out yesterday, for example.
I don't know. I think defensively has been where I've been most impressed with him.
Well,
Yeah,
I've
we
not
shouldn't-
been
we shouldn't
impressed by.
defensively at left back.
We shouldn't spend too
I've-
long talking about Jed
I've
Spence. 'cause
not
he ain't
been
gonna-
impressed by
shouldn't
anything
take-
Spurs have done defensively at all. Right, so I think
Oh, rubbish.
it's like saying he's the tallest dwarf or something. Is it Spurs' best defender? Wow,
That's
fantastic.
Hez, Rob. Get it right.
All right, quick reminder, get those likes up, guys. We're over 200 likes already, which is fantastic. There's about 550 of you in here. I want to move on, just assess the table for 5 minutes, guys. and just get your take on it. Should we do it? It'll be a little bit more upbeat than when we did it on Thursday. So let's see what you guys. Let me make this bigger.
Can you make it bigger, Wolfie?
Yes, I am. Chill. All right. Okay. So is that good enough for your old eyes, Anne? I can go bigger if you want. There.
As well.
That better. All right.
Make it as big as you can.
This is the top 10 as it stands. After our win, we're now finally out of those 40s, man. Do you know how much 40s were depressing me? So we're up to 51 points. Chelsea got their free win, but we've still got Leicester as our free win coming up later on in the season. So you could argue Chelsea are 3 points further back from us. I still don't know, boys, who I'm writing out who can catch us still. That's really the debate I want to have for the next segment. And chat, same with you guys. Like, how far down the table are you looking before you stop? I guess is the question. Go on, Rob. You're desperate.
You just reminded me of something, and nobody's mentioned it at all. Does nobody realise that we stayed up yesterday?
No, because nobody's that negative, bro.
No,
Sharky is said it in the group chat. Sharky, shout out to Sharky.
We stayed up yesterday.
Bigger still.
You were still looking over your shoulder before yesterday. Then you're
right. No, but we mathematically cannot be relegated now. I think we should just
Rob. That is such a steep.
I think you should.
If only just to acknowledge how far we've come. That's not even in our minds, right?
Well,
because that was the goal. That was the goal.
Rob, I think that was a perfectly reasonable thing to say, and I think the piss taking is uncalled for.
Absolutely,
that was our goal for the last 2 seasons.
I'm sorry, but if it was up to Rob, we would have been back down in the Championship with Steve Cooper.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair point.
Brought us back from
anyway, back to the table.
Yeah. So chat, let me know how far down you're looking. I saw a few of yours, but these lot started arguing about relegation, which is a negative mindset. I mean, seriously.
Look at these comments. There's one like, great point, Rob. And then the next one is, stop talking crap, Rob. And then the next one is, agree with Rob. And the next one is, Rob, shut up. What do you want? What do you want?
Rob, at least you're not vanilla to them.
They've all got agendas, Rob. You should know that. They've all got agendas.
You should see the comments after each goal. Ant is a twat. I love Ant. Ant's a dickhead. I hate Ant. I love Ant. All right. Speaking of Ant, go on, Ant. How far down are you looking? So 10th place is Fulham on 42 points, 9 points behind us, level on games. Are you going down that far?
No, I feel comfortable that we can scratch Fulham off now. The thing that makes it a little bit difficult is obviously we've not all played the same amount of games. That makes it a bit trickier to judge, doesn't it? I was shocked actually to see that Villa have actually played a game more than us. Mm-hmm. So
that's because they played the Liverpool one earlier because of the cup final. Yeah.
Liverpool have played.
Yes, but that's good for us, isn't it? Because that means that away game at Villa. Not saying we're going to lose it. But if we were to lose it, that's just the game in hang on. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, God, it's hard, isn't it? Yeah, down to Newcastle, I would say. Newcastle, if they win that game in hand that they've got, puts them on 47, they've got to be in with a shout. So yeah, down to Newcastle, I would say.
So if Newcastle lose tomorrow, I think they got West Ham.
I would put them out of it.
Are you calling them too far?
No, you can't.
From us, yeah. Yeah, I would.
So why are you not ruling out Bournemouth?
Rob is so negative, man.
So why are you not ruling out Bournemouth, man?
Because they've got 2 points more than Fulham.
No. I'm saying if Newcastle lose tomorrow, you said you're ruling them out, yeah? But they would be 28 games, same as Bournemouth. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've just changed my mind. I wouldn't rule them out then.
All right. So you're going down to Newcastle. What about you, Ben?
As far as Newcastle, yeah.
What are you saying, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I'd talk it in regards to a Champions League spot. I think
no, above us. I think we were talking.
Who can catch us more so than Champions? Who can
catch us?
Yeah.
Well, who can catch us? I'd probably go down to Villa. I can't imagine Bournemouth or Newcastle catching us now. I mean, they're 7 points behind, and there's only 10 games left.
If they win that game in hand, Ben, they're only 4 points behind us, with 10 games to go.
Yeah, okay, fair point. So, okay, that's a weird question then, because I'd go down to Newcastle but exclude Bournemouth.
I like that. I'm not gonna lie. I like that.
That makes sense. No, that makes sense because of the game in hand.
Yeah,
Newcastle
are good catches, but I can't imagine Bournemouth catching us now. I think if we get 12 points, if we get 4 wins from these last 10 games, which should be doable based on the teams we're playing, I think we're pretty much guaranteed Champions League. And I don't see why. We're for me one of the informed teams, and you see the likes of Arsenal slipping, you see the likes of Man City slipping, Chelsea are starting to do okay again, but I think we can get second.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just noticed that our goal difference is not bad either, is it?
Yeah,
like Brighton and Villa and that.
I genuinely think we could get second place. We've got a pretty easy run in on paper. We're solid at home. It's a fortress at home. Arsenal have got no striker because Ez wouldn't let them sign anyone in Jan, and I think we can get second place.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Ez,
let negative Rob go in first because he's looking all the way down to probably.
I thought Rob did.
I just said that we stayed up. That's not the same as right. So quite interesting next week. We all know how bloody hard this Ipswich game is going to be, and I don't think anyone can take those 3 points for granted. But it's very interesting that Arsenal are playing Chelsea and Man City are playing Brighton next week. Yes. So the thing to remember about all of these other teams is that they are all really inconsistent, and they're all playing each other anyway. So it's going to be like rats in a sack. And what we need to now do is we've put our difficult run behind us, and we actually need to accelerate away from these bastards now so that we're not actually looking over our shoulder. Let them fight amongst themselves. So I don't really want to obsess about any one of them. It's interesting that Brighton have put that run together after we.
Are you worried about Brighton? Yeah, because that's been since our game.
I don't know. They are. I mean, it's points on the board, isn't it? It's like when you're watching England playing Test cricket and they made like 350 in the first innings. You think, come on, we're going to do this, and then the other team like does 100 without answering. I don't know. We've got points on the board. We should take that into account. I think if it was 4 teams going to the Champions League, I've looked back on it, you need about 68, 69 points to do it. But with 5, we could do it on as little as 66, 67 points. Now,
I think especially as, like you say, Rob, the other teams are inconsistent and playing each other.
That is 5. That is 5 home wins. I really think we should be just looking at those 5. I mean, okay, we've got Man United, Everton, Chelsea. They're not easy games. None of them are easy games. But when you consider what we've just had in the last couple of months, we'd have Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City at the City Ground, and between Newcastle, those 3 teams, they scored 1 goal against us at the City Ground. So we've got to start beating people 1-0 at the City Ground, 5 of those, and we're in the Champions League. Anything we do away from home is a bonus.
So you're saying 65, Rob? How far are you looking down?
Yeah, how far are you looking down?
I'm not really, because I don't think Fulham can catch us. I don't think Fulham can catch us. Newcastle did it last year, but they really are terribly inconsistent. They've got injuries.
No, they didn't last year.
Didn't they?
No, they didn't make it.
Was it the year before?
They finished 8th.
The year before, yeah.
It was the year before. Sorry, it was Villa last year. So I don't think Bournemouth actually believe they can do it. I think Villa are they're going to make a late push. They strengthened, and I think, but they've got the finger in too many pies, Villa. So I don't know.
I think that's an interesting point. If you look at the teams around us that's still in Europe, Arsenal is still in Europe, Chelsea's still in Europe, Man City aren't, but they got FA Cup as of Brighton. Villa have got FA Cup, Europe, and League.
Yeah.
Bournemouth, who cares? They're dickheads.
Well, they got the FA Cup, haven't they?
You know that Bournemouth are the only ones that we haven't beaten now. Now we put City to bed.
There's another team, isn't there?
Is there? I think we've beaten all of them now.
Fulham.
No, we beat Fulham.
We beat Fulham at home.
Yeah. Now there's one more. Chat, who's the other team?
There is one this season. This season?
No, since we've been back.
I was thinking this season. Sorry, I was thinking this season.
They are the only one we haven't beaten.
I wish they got relegated in that first season.
I think we're going to get Bournemouth in the cup final and beat them. Can you imagine that? That would be the end to a perfect season.
I want them out to Man City
in the cup final.
No, thank
We'll probably lose them if we get them in the cup final.
No, we beat Spurs Forest, though. We beat Spurs recently.
Honestly,
I think there's one more. Oh, it was Luton. Yeah, but Luton are about to be a Div 1 team, Curtis. It is Luton, he's right.
They're not anything.
Yeah, they're about to go down. They got to go down. Okay, so you're right what you said. I think 65 points gets it, so we need 14 more points, right? So you could do that with 4 wins and 3 or so draws, roughly speaking.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you look at our fixtures, this is what a win does.
2 draws to be precise.
All right, 2 draws. Whatever.
This is why this win yesterday was so massive. That was 3 points. That was
agreed.
Oh, the bonus 3 points.
It damn well was. The other results.
You look at this now, boys. You look at this now, and you think to yourself, all right, we need 4 wins out of this, roughly speaking, right?
We're gonna get it.
Guaranteed for me. I know nothing's guaranteed, but I'd say United at home.
Yeah.
Everton seem to have fallen off a little.
Yeah.
Maybe Brentford, and then we just. Well, I'm just looking at the home ones here. Then that's a free win.
Yeah.
And then Chelsea potentially. And Palace we haven't lost to, so we'll probably draw that. You know what I'm saying?
We've got to have it in the bag before that Chelsea game because otherwise that's going to be incredibly tense. I don't want to be fighting.
Saying we'll batter them.
Yeah, I don't want to be fighting it out with Chelsea on the last day over 1 spot. Let's get it done.
I fancy us beating Chelsea, though, to be honest.
Oh, yeah,
if they're still in the same vein of form as they are at the moment.
Well, in fact,
they might not even be challenging for a Champions League place if they carry on the way they're going.
Absolutely. They're in 4th now, though. But let me flip this round to you, boys. Let me flip it round, right?
Rob, you keep alluding to it. Have a look at the team's running, but the Chelsea's running is absolutely the worst. And as inconsistent as they've been, I don't see them being anywhere near the top 5. I think they're going to be struggling to hold on to a Europa League place. They'll probably end up with a Conference League place. Yeah, so if you have a look at their running and look at our running, that's what fills me with joy. You talk about the points on the board. We have got the points on the board. Man City are the only team that I'm looking at could potentially overtake us. The rest of them, no, I've got no worries about it. I'm with Crypto on this one. I'm looking for 2nd or 3rd, mate. That's where I want to be finishing. 3rd place to remind me of 30 years ago would be absolutely amazing. But I'm chasing Arsenal.
Do you guys think off the back of this season, is it too early to tell? Is it just a one-off, or do you think from here on in we could potentially be a cartel?
We're back, baby. If we get Champions League, Crypto, and the money Champions League brings in, like I'm not saying Forest win the league next season, but we're definitely competing for Europe every year.
Who do we replace? Spurs? I'm talking about like top
Man U.
Spurs.
Yeah, Man U.
No. It depends on your definition, doesn't it?
Exactly. I'm going to go into this.
As in the so-called Big 6.
Man U.
No, we won't be in the Big 6.
I don't. There's going to be a Big 6 after this. It's already
you know what, Rob,
around the edges.
You're spot on because it is that gap is gradually diminishing. The more that the clubs stay in the Premier League and get more money each year, they are now able to compete with these clubs on wages and transfer fees. So it is definitely changing.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant for everybody, I think.
Yeah,
it's already proven it this season with us getting 5 teams for next year in the Champions League.
Well, to put it into context, Liverpool, I can't verify this because it's only what I've heard, but Liverpool so far this season have made 90 million quid out of the Champions League. Can you imagine pumping 90 million into Forest?
Well, and if you get to the knockout, if you get out the group stages, it's worth 100 million, basically.
Yeah.
Like back of fact pack maths thing.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you boys this. Shout out to Forest Lion with the 199. He says, anything less than CL, would you be dissatisfied? Now, I get asked this a lot when I'm freaking chesting, as do you, Ant, on the other channel. So let me ask the other boys, because we get asked this a lot. Would you be dissatisfied as if we don't get Champions League?
Yeah. Overall, yes, obviously. If it's straight at the end of the season, let's say it comes down, I don't think it will come down to this last game. Let's say it comes down to the last game, we miss out on the last day of a Champions League place, and I'd be absolutely pissed off. But overall, if I look back at it, I wouldn't be. But it depends when you ask me. But look at where we are, and I say just look at the way we've played so far, the home atmosphere this season. And you did kind of touch on it at the start of the stream today. The home atmosphere. What I've liked about it is that the fans are a lot more patient and educated than we've had for a long time. You go back to the atmosphere in that first season. There was a lot of end-to-end games that year. You know, there wasn't a lot of controlled performances in that. But since Nuno's come in, the fans have got used to knowing that we are a team that plays on a counter-attack. So there will be large portions of the game where we don't have possession of a ball. And what I know, I just want to it's going to go into kind of what I wanted to say earlier on, but I didn't get out to say it. Yesterday, the difference between yesterday and the performance at Man City earlier on in the season, where we gave them too much respect, was we gave them the ball. We did not give them respect yesterday. No, we gave them the ball. We didn't pay them too much respect, and we didn't give them
away from home, Ed.
Yeah, away from home. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, between giving the team too much respect and giving them space and giving them the ball. So yes, they worked perfectly. But the point I was going to get to is like the way I look at it overall. How can I be dissatisfied with any European place this season? But the way we've got through this difficult patch, and we've all agreed those 4 games. As hard as it is to say, Fulham at home, Newcastle, Man City, and Arsenal. Those 4 games were going to be our toughest 4 games based on what we did in the first half of the season. And you look at our results against the remaining teams, we've got chances to do doubles over most of them. And I can see us doing that. So I think we'll comfortably finish in the Premier League position. If you're talking just on points, we'll comfortably get about 65 points. So I've got no worries that we're not going to get there. But if it did come down to the last game we missed out, yes, I'd be absolutely gutted.
The thing is,
sorry, Ben, just 1 second, just for you, I want to get you and Rob into it. Just a quick reminder: we got our WhatsApp update group that's pinned in the chat. Loads of you have joined. Good to see you joining in there. It's completely secure, by the way. And just go in there; it'll give you Forest updates. Click on the link that's pinned in the chat. It's 1 click on your phone and it will load into your WhatsApp, and you'll get to see any quick breaking Forest news updates we'll be chucking in there. So make sure you've got that on, especially in this last 10 running. Go on, Ben. Sorry, answer opposition.
I was going to say the word here for me is ambition. So in life, there's normally 2 types of people. There's people who achieve something and then they're comfortable with it, and that makes them happy, and that's absolutely fine. And then there's the people who achieve something they want, but they're still ambitious enough to go to the next level. Now, if I spin this the other way around, sometimes when we lose, we have people saying, you're being negative, Forest are 3rd in the Premier League, we never expected this, which is a fair point. But with ambition comes extra expectations. And now we've done so well and we've got to this position, it'd be so disappointing to let it all go now. And the person I'd probably be most disappointed for is Marinakis. Because Marinakis has put everything into this club, despite what Carlos says. He's put everything into this club. And for him, he clearly wants Champions League football. You can see the players want it, even though they're not going to mention it because it's always the next game. But yes, you've got to be ambitious. Forest need to be back as like basically a top half Premier League team established. And the only way to do that is to have ambition. And if you're doing well, you need to keep it up and stay consistent. The last thing you want to do is drop off, because it could also be very dangerous. If we, for some reason now, miss out on a European place, I don't think we will, but if we did, that could have the opposite effect. And then next season, we could actually have a worse season because we've missed out on everything. Players might leave. So you've got to keep your ambition in line with your expectations.
Yeah, Rob, just before I bring you in, Path to Europe time says 00. Boys, we'll do that on our Thursday forum stream. What do you think? A little homework for you lot. Figure out the results in the upcoming matches, and we'll do that. If you guys want that, get us to 250 likes. We're on 233. Still about 550 of you in here. And then this point from Enigma goes, don't think we're ready for CL, but we got to take it. I would, anyone who says that to me, I say everyone told us we weren't ready for the Premier League.
Can I, because I'd already put this out. I wanted to address this. No team has ever for the first time they go into any competition, no team is ever ready, because you can't have Champions League players before you get into the Champions League. So we're not ready right now. Of course we're not. But in the summer, we would hope to be able to bring in the kind of quality of player that will make us ready for the Champions League, is what I would say.
Yeah.
Rob,
Rob, I want to ask you the harder question on this, what was brought up. If Forest don't get Champions League, is it a bottle job? Because Ant will back me up. I'm sure you've been asked it on the other streams as well. And if Forest is it a bottle job if Forest bottle it? If don't get it, sorry.
Well,
and yet they say to you that Forest shouldn't be there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So for us not to get Champions League would mean coming 6th, probably, then, wouldn't it? Right?
Yes.
So who's coming ahead of us, right? Because we're going to accelerate away from these people, but or we should be. So I don't know if I have to answer that, because I just don't see it happening.
Yeah,
I think
you have to answer it because me and Ant get it asked all the time.
We would have to be really bad. I mean, if you look at what happened with Villa at the end of last season, they literally just crawled over the line. So we might have a few dodgy moments, maybe away from home, but I just think our home form will get us there now. We should be looking at 5 home wins. That'll do.
I mean, if every other club, I know they play each other, certain clubs play each other, but if every other club wins every game from now to the end of the season, it's not a bottle job if Forest slip out of the top 5.
Yeah, also, just another thing. How much of these, who are we vying with here? Chelsea, Man City. We're talking billion-pound teams here, right? And then
we're talking proper heritage here.
But if we somehow fall short on goal difference or something like that, and someone like Man City gets ahead of us, we ain't the bottlers. Man City.
If it's Bournemouth, it might be a different conversation.
Fair enough, yeah. But look, I'm clear on one thing, which is
Ribena,
Evangelos Marinakis has got 1 goal, which is a 3rd star, right? That he is not going to stop until he's got the 3rd star. I honestly believe that, and I think that's what he thinks when he gets up every day and comes into the office. And I tell you what, once he's got the 3rd one, he'll want a 4th, right? That I've never seen such a determined owner.
The shirt prices are going to go through the roof with all these extra stars on it.
But so the thing is, right? You only get that 3rd star. You have to qualify first, right? So, and that is the goal. And listen, we've been since the start of November. We've been mainly 3rd, except for a short time where we were 2nd. Yeah, it would be a bit of a disappointment to finish 6th after this. So, I don't see it happening. But I don't think you can accuse us of bottling if that does happen, because Man City are the bottlers. Man City are the bottlers this season, not us. Chelsea
Arsenal. Yeah, can I just shout out Michael quickly?
How dare anyone suggest that we are bottlers after we've just held Liverpool and Arsenal to draws and we've just beaten Man City? We are not the bottlers. And even the games that we lost by 1 goal. Forget Bournemouth. The other 2, we lost by 1 goal, right? So there ain't no bottling here. So what ridiculous, even the idea is ridiculous.
Rob, before you get yourself too wound up, Rob, you got to remember the YouTubers that are asking these questions.
Exactly.
And you got to remember, I've called them all bottlers as well, right?
Yeah.
So
and you got to remember as well, the guys asking the questions don't even believe we deserve to be there. So it's a kind of such a quandary of a question that doesn't actually make any sense. But
there's always a first time to everything, right? You can't say to someone, "Are you ready?" Because you'll never be ready until you get there the first time. Like,
that's what.
The first time, I don't know, Ez was with a beautiful woman and he Zorro'd. He wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't the first time.
I've not watched Zorro beforehand.
The question is, are we ready? If Evangelos Marinakis is ready, that's all you need to know.
I just want to shout out Michael, by the way. Michael, I love reading your comments. His comments are amazing. He puts so much effort into the comments on pretty much every single video, right? You lot in the chat could learn a thing or two from Michael, all right? You should at least read what he says. Michael, I never don't read one. I know the boys on the panel don't read one. And I know sometimes Rob has to have a little debate with you on some of those comments. So massive shout out to you. Thank you for your supports in those comments. Honestly, they're absolutely brilliant to read. Yeah, John, you need to be a member to know what that's about. You know, as the saying goes.
John, if you're not a member for the first time, who knows if you're ready for it? Come prepared. Come prepared.
Believe you me, you have to be ready for it.
Yeah.
But let's say
nobody was ready for it.
I say, going back to what we were talking about, let's say if Wolfie's worst case scenario had played out this weekend and we dropped down to 5th, even then, we're not out of it. You know, like I said, with the games coming ahead, but it didn't. You know, we got a win out of that. I think thoroughly, obviously, we deserved against a team that doesn't matter how much money they spent. They've got a hell of a lot of rebuilding to do, and I don't even think Pep's a man for them going forward because of the team that they've built around him. The players that they're going to lose in the summer potentially, they're not going to replace. I don't think with the same quality. I think we're looking at a real chance for these teams: Black Forest, Newcastle, Villa, maybe even Bournemouth. Even exactly. Just had to say them. Giving them a chance to really put a cat amongst the pigeons. So the typical top 6, as you guys saying, I don't think it's going to be the same. And plus, it depends how you look at it. Because if you're looking at purely at things like obviously revenue, Spurs are always going to be up there because of their stadium. Yeah. With the amount of revenue that they make from it, they're going to be typically in that top 6. But if you're talking purely on what's happening on the field and the fan base growing, we've got a real opportunity to break that up. And I do believe what Crypto was, I think the question he was asking is, can we sustain it going forward? Yes, you've got to keep this team and you've got to add to it. And we have to get, obviously, European quality players and players that are going to hopefully not only add to what we've already got, but bring those players along with us, because there is potential in our young squad to be those players going forward, but we need a core of experience around them. So, you know what, but whether we'll bottle it or not, it's not a bottle job at all compared to where we came from to where we are. It can never
it can't be, can it? Let's be realistic. We were pretty relegation candidates for the past 2 seasons.
With the lowest total in Premier League history that we stayed up with.
And as I often point out, our back 5 cost less than most of those teams' centre-back cost, one player. So
their bench yesterday was more, had a higher value than our entire squad. And just so, that's all you need to know.
All right, let's. I know Jeff. Yes, Jeff. I will be on Never a Foul in just a minute. Don't worry. I'm going to cook the crap out of them.
Can I just add as well before you cut us off? Can I just add as well that one thing Mr. Marinakis, our glorious leader, has shown us before. When we got promoted, if you remember, he went a little crazy spending loads of money. Not necessarily on the right players, but he certainly was willing to put his money where his mouth is. Can you imagine if we qualified for the Champions League and they said, right, well, you're going to get 100 million guaranteed. He's gonna go. Yeah, he's gonna look after us.
I don't know if we'll have enough time to put videos out in the summer to cover everything off, man. I mean, seriously, we're gonna have to recruit some more FFTV people.
Maybe.
My God, it's gonna be if we get Champions League, boys.
Yeah. Man, we're gonna be linked with players that we couldn't have dreamt of. In the past,
awesome.
We get excited about these players we've never heard of just because they cost 3 million quid.
And don't forget, we've still got that super agent in our midst,
Yes, true. I've already got my Champions League shopping list. Cunha,
Edu,
yeah. No, I want to break up Bournemouth. I want to take Semenya from them. I'll take Kluivert from them.
I take Kirkes off them as well. If you're talking
Tyler Adams,
Kirkes would be my.
I would take Tyler. I wanted him 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I wanted him 2 years ago. But yeah, I want to destroy teams. You know how Marinakis did to Huddersfield, and he got them relegated, where he just took their best players, then sent their manager to the Arcos for a week. I want to do that to Bournemouth. And I bet Marinakis does as well.
No, Wolfie. Well, shit. No, I was going to say no. Let's do it to Man U, but I thought no, because it's none of their players that we're.
They're all crap. Exactly.
They're doing it.
It won't be limited. It won't be limited. I don't want to give Brentford money. Like I just don't want to.
But they've missed the chance. Whistle will come on a free. They've missed their chance.
Take them to off them.
He's too old, man. He's too old.
Who is
He's too
Wissa?
old.
Hey, on a free, it's experience. It's good squad player.
Absolutely.
And the good news is our female FFTVer, she's basically FFFTV, isn't she, Laurie? She's ready for the reports there. So we got, but I don't know, is FFTV beneath her now? She's been on BBC and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Has everybody got 6 months left?
I don't know how much she's going to charge us anymore. You know what I'm saying? Graham still loves you, apparently. I'm sorry, right? I refuse to believe any Forest fan would not love to see the demise of Bournemouth.
I thought you were going to say of Rob for a second.
I admire Bournemouth. Rob. Yeah. I admire Bournemouth what they've done on the
what cheated their way into the Premier League.
No, you know what? I like their manager.
The resources they've got.
They're not top of my hit
I
list.
admire them.
There's other people I'd much rather see the back of.
Larry,
it's the big clubs. It's the big clubs, the corrupt big clubs I don't like. Not little.
And the only thing I hate about them is the fact that we can't beat them. That's the only thing I hate.
On a football, on a football.
I like their manager. I like the way they play football. I like some.
Another part of this big six. Another part of this big six unraveling is we've got to face up to some of the. There's some really badly run clubs in the Premier League. Man U and Spurs are terribly run clubs. And, you know, we look
Chelsea aren't great, Rob.
Brilliant compared to... Yeah, exactly. So I think that they might be becoming their own undoing, some of these clubs, because they've got this kind of global fan base and they this global brand and they've got ideas above the station and they're not delivering on the pitch. They're overpaying for players. They're paying too much in wages and they've got no patience.
I'm sure you'd agree. Is that trickles down for the rest of us because they're paying 300 grand for a fucking average player. So when we're trying to compete, we have to up out what we're paying as well.
But I don't care. And once we're in amongst them, I don't care. Like, well, let's pay 300 grand. I'm going to pile on this. You know what? You lot have triggered me on this Bournemouth thing. I'm sorry. By the way, 73% of you would be disappointed without Champions League football. I'm doing the poll. Do you hate Bournemouth? Do you know, I even hate how they spell their name. That stupid E in the middle of it makes no sense, right? Do you hate Bournemouth? There, polls up.
What Ed said earlier was bears repeating. Just want to sorry, what Ed said earlier, which is that our fans, particularly in the ground, have got a lot more patience. They know that Nuno's got a plan, and they know that if we're going to win games like yesterday, if we're going to win them at all, it's going to be 1-0, and they're happy with that. They're happy with that. Let's don't get on the backs of the team.
Rob, when the tourists start coming, they won't be happy.
There's no room for tourists. There's no room for tourists. So this is a really good point that Ed's made, right? It's like you go to some of these grounds like the Etihad or the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. If they're not winning by 25 minutes, they start groaning and moaning like. I think there's a really good point in there, which is that
I think our fans would moan though if we weren't winning, Rob.
No, I think there's a unity of the team and the fans and the backroom staff at the moment that we know there's a plan and we're being patient with it and we're staying humble.
Yeah.
And by the way, the answer to that is Man United.
Yeah, it's Man United. Look, don't get me wrong, right? The other reason I hate Bournemouth is the fact that I hate them makes me hate them because I don't want to waste my hatred on them when I got hatred more for in the Premier League for the likes of Man U and Spurs. Bournemouth are like you know when you get a spot.
That made sense.
You know, you get a bit on your face and you just like pop it back in the day, and then 2 days later it comes out. That's Bournemouth, man. Eventually it goes away. Anyway, right. I gotta go and do some cooking of my own right now. So this will redirect you to Never a Foul, where I am absolutely going to rip them a new one. They should still be live. Put in there something like, I don't know, what should we have as the spam message in there?
Stay humble, eh?
Stay humble, eh?
Yeah, stay humble,
this is coming from us. Just put 115.
No, that's boring.
No, just tell them to stay humble. That's absolutely right. Serve it back to them.
All right, well, we're going straight across there. We are 5 subscribers away from 24K. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you do. Get that done. All right, Hooks is about to leave in 10 minutes. I need to get my ass across there because Hook needs a slapping as well with Arsenal.
Right.
So make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, just put a trolley message in there. We're going to kick you across there right now. We haven't missed any super chats, have we? No, we haven't. Cool. All right, we'll see you on tomorrow's video. Come on, you Reds.
You Reds.